Says we've got. No, no, we don't have yet. All right, we got it now. It's this little camera that I do my close-up work. No, I don't need Sanita's help. I figured it out. It's this little camera that I use for when I do the tutorials. And I think it's got a short in the wire. I'm going to have to just, before I come back, I'll have to get a new camera. So we're all set. Gabriella, Suzanne, and Jennifer. Jackie Belcher, hello, hello. Bonnie and Leanie are always here for me. I know that. I'm not touching nothing, Bonnie. I'm not touching nothing. And there's Barbara Wriggles. And Nana Mama Cat. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the cottage. I love seeing your face come in. And there's Sarah Mahoney. Welcome, welcome. Oh, you're right, Sarah. Today is the day that the Lord has made, and we have to rejoice and be glad in it because He made it for us. He made it for you. So find a blessing in today that He's given just to you. Regina, I'm just going to have to finish Lynn's things on the way up. There's no way to mail them to you and get them back in time. And I apologize to you for that because I'm such a slug. I never got anything mailed. So there's that. Yes, Sally, I figured it out. And I figured out what the pesky little devil was. So now I can fix it. All right, Jenny, I saw your smiling face in here, and I wanted to let you know that I did print this out. So this is something that Jenny sent me a link, hooked by Katie, KITI.com. If you want to go to Katie's channel, there is a link in there that will give you this an opportunity to copy this reference guide, and it is really good. I don't have it put together yet, but it's got all of your crochet abbreviations. I'll keep this one that I got my fingers on. It has the chart symbols, which I think is really, really good because some people prefer charts. It's got terms for Tunisian. It's got terms to convert UK to US, which is always good. And then she gives you some knitting terms, like Passover and pass to slip stitch, that kind of stuff that you don't know about. WYIF, work with yarn in front. And then about the bracket system. So what to do, it's like algebra. Remember when we had to do algebra and you had to do what was in these brackets first and then what was in these brackets, and then you did it all together and got the right answer or not. Here's some standard measurements for hats from preemie and newborn up to men's adult large. It gives you circumference and the diameter of the crown. Like I use my hand, it's usually about 7.5 inches or a little bit like that. And then it also tells you how deep to make from the crown down, so that you know how to make sure the ears are covered. And then it gives you the circumference of the hat. It'll fit. And then there's one for blankets, that measurements for a lovey, a security blanket, a receiving blanket, a crib or toddler bed, a swaddle cloth, a throw, a twin, a full queen, and a king size. So all those measurements are in there. And then socks, it gives you the foot length and the baby shoe size and how big to do the socks. And then it also gives you the standard of yarn weights. So if you've ever been confused the difference between a sport weight and a DK weight or a worsted weight, or what do all of those mean, there's a guide in here that tells you. And then there's also a guide for hooks and needle sizes, which is really cool because it gives you the crochet hook US and UK size, So, like a 5.5 is a 9 in the US or an I. And in the UK, it's a 5 millimeter. So there you've got all three of them. If you've got a hook that has a 9 on it, you're thinking like, "Ooh, what's a 9?" Because there's no number for a 7. It's just a 7. And they call it a G plus. So it's kind of like 7.5 maybe. I don't know. Anyway, they give you that. And then the steel hooks also to use with threads, and the difference between metric. And this is the page that I really think is going to be very, very helpful to most everyone who crochets or knits. It's how much yarn will I need? If I'm going to make one of these, how much of this yarn am I going to need? How much of this yarn am I going to need? If I'm going to make a hat for a baby, I'm going to need this much yarn. But if I'm going to make it for a man and maybe make it out of bulky, I only need 150 yards. So it does scarf, shawl, sweater, baby blanket, and afghan. So if you would like a copy of this reference guide, please go to Hooked by Katie.com. I think, and that will get you the pull up where you can get download a copy and print it off. Yes, Jennifer, some hooks do, but then again, some hooks don't. My bamboo hooks that I like so well that have the boy heads, this just says 6 millimeters. So I don't know if that's an I or a J or a K or an L or an M or an N or an O or a P. And my tulip hooks that no, these are not tulips. These are clover. These are my clover soft ones. This has D and 3.25 millimeter on it. And this is my my clover hook. I think you can see the clover in there. There, you can see that a little bit better. Clover. And then the other hook that I really like also is my tulip hooks. And it has all the numbers on it. It's got an 8, it's got a 5 millimeter. Well, it doesn't have a number or a letter, does it? So see, this pulls them all together. This chart pulls them all together very nicely. All right. So happy Wacky Wednesday to everyone. I am going to leave on the 15th, the 14th or 15th, Wednesday or Thursday. I think probably Thursday, to by the time I get everything ready. I will tell you all of my preparations in a minute, but I want to give you my approximate timeline. We'll probably leave on the 15th, spend the night on the road, and then get to my sister's on the 16th, which is Friday. We'll probably spend Saturday and Sunday just slugging out on the couch, resting up, because it's pretty taxing when you're over 75 and you have to drive 2 days straight. Even if you take breaks, it's still a drain on your system. And, you know, you get rusty. Arthur is really kicking up in weather changes and heading north. I'm sure we're going to go through the central part of the United States and run into some thunderstorms somewhere. And so we'll spend the weekend recouping from our journey and do our whatever visiting we're going to do on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then Thursday, I would imagine Thursday and Friday we'll drive back home. We should be home Friday night, the 23rd. Certainly by the 24th. I don't want to be on the road on a weekend. There's just too many cars out there. Honestly, there's too many wacko people. You just can't. I am anxious. Here's something you can pray for me about. I am a bit anxious about getting off the interstate, pulling into a gas station to get gas. You don't know who's there in that town. You don't know what you might run into. Now, I do have to tell you that with Elmo having worked in the Pentagon, he's done a lot of work for the government, and he's very detail oriented. And I've told you this about his trains and his train layout, that it's the details that he loves the best. But he's very aware of what's going on around him at all times. He had to be, and he still is. So I'm really thankful that God put me here in this home with him, because he does look out after us. Well, after me, he does look out. He did look out after all of us, and he was always awake and alert and aware, and which I greatly appreciate. Collie's here. Hello, Collie. And Thriss. Oh, Thriss. I just call her Demi, Thriss. Demetria, but I just call her Demi. Hello, Lana. And Zoila. Elmo would not let me drive up there by myself. So, yeah, that's good. That's good reasoning. It's just to stay at the truck stops. They're a little bit safer. But, I mean, I'm not really worried. God is my guide. And, if it's going to happen, I only get to be with him anyway. So it's kind of a win-win situation. But, you hear about people driving up, put gas in their car, and somebody pulls out a gun and shoots them or knifes them. And, it's just, I think it's a natural trend towards that fear as we get older, because we don't have the muscle strength or the agility or the speed that we used to have when we were younger. And so, Thriss, yes, it is. Yes, it is. I'm leaving on the 15th, and I'm gonna meet Jen up there, and we'll probably come up and see you. So I'm excited about that. I got a whole boatload of people I want to see while I'm up in Ohio and Michigan. Isn't he? Yeah, but buses. But see, if I lived in a small town or went different places like that, if I lived in town, I'd probably take a bus. But we live out in we live out in the country. The home is outside of Gainesville, between Alachua County, which is Gainesville, and Columbia County, which is where the home is. We're just probably about 11 miles from Alachua County, maybe half an hour from Gainesville. And we do some shopping there, but we also do, thank you, Barbara. Thank you. I needed to remember that. I truly did. Thank you. It goes in my pocket. Let's see what else. What was I telling you? Oh, I have made arrangements to meet with John Ward from the Appalachian Navy. If you don't have his channel, if you're not subscribed to his channel, please do so. He goes around the country, and he he highlights early America, the general stores, the gas stations, the landmarks that helped create America. And he does some PR work for them. And he encourages people, if you're in the area, stop in, check it out. Here's the people that own it. Here's what they do. Here's the sampling of what they have. And kind of helps them build their tourist trade, because that area of the country needs a lot of help right now. And he also goes and highlights the different resource areas that he has visited before, and he gives you an update on those. So see, Leanie, that's just it. The older we get, the more difficult it is to drive for long distances. And we can still do it, but we pay for it. So it takes a couple days to regain your momentum. Yeah, it happens. Life happens, and we're making plans to go, and life's going to happen on the way up, one way or another. So that's my plans. I'm leaving on the 15th. If you have mailed things, I will get them in Ziploc bags with the somebody information, and put them in a box and give them to John Ward. I don't know right now whether we are going to meet him on our trip up or our trip back. So if you have things to mail, I would say you got to mail them today or hang on to them, because there won't be anyone here at the home to collect mail while we're gone. And Elmo, knowing him, he'll probably put a stop mail on it, so it'll just hang out at the post office until we get back. But when I get home, the end of we should be home by the 24th, I think. I'll be home that last week of May, and whatever is here, whatever is here, I will go ahead and package up in Ziploc bags and put the note, the identification tag in it, and I will mail it up to John. If you would like John Ward's address to mail them yourself, excuse me, I still have that cloggy throat, and I'll tell you about that too. If you want to mail them directly to him, he will be aware that things might be coming, and you can go to his channel and mail them to him. I think he's got a post office box, but I'll put that on my community tab, or they don't call it a community tab anymore. They just call it my tab. I'll tab it for you. He is Appalachian Navy. Let me double check for you, and we'll see. Okay.
Back at the USS Alabama. back at the USS Alabama Memorial, where I did a video a couple of months ago, and I'm standing.
All right, this is what I found. Is it going to post it? Paste. No, it is Appalachian Navy, though. No, it is not the Appalachian Channel. Let me check on that and see. I don't know. The one I have is called the Appalachian Navy. Appalachian Navy. And John Ward is his name, so. Hello, Dee. How nice to see you at the cottage today. How are you guys doing? I think about you all the time. I'm coming back up there this next week. I'm leaving on the 15th to come up. So you get a hold of Thriss and find out what day is best, and we'll drive up and go to lunch or something. You know, I'm sure he has more than one channel. I'm sure he does, but he's based out of East Tennessee, and when we drive up, we drive right up I-75, and we go right through Eastern Tennessee up past the Appalachian Mountain Museum, the Museum of Appalachia, I think it's called, or something like that. It's been a while since I've been up there, but I hope to meet him there. But I will let him know when we get close so that he can figure out where he is and whether he'll be able to meet us either on the way up or the way back. It doesn't matter. But I'm taking up what I have to be distributed. And he said he would be willing to take them to B-Log and the different resource centers for the people up there, which I'm so thankful for. So thankful for. Probably the same man. I'm sure he is. All right, now, I wanted to tell you that. Remember, I told you that I was going to take pictures of the garden that Elmo built out there with the viewing stand, and how beautiful all the blossoms just came up, and they were absolutely beautiful. We had a whole dish, huge dish, just mounded with red impatiens, and then creeping Jenny, which is kind of a lime green uh, trailing plant. They came off the sides, four of them came off the sides of the plant, the the planting pot, and hung down. It was so beautiful. We had snapdragons, we had impatiens, we had um, geraniums, red geraniums, lilies. Uh, Elmo loves lilies, and so he's got several different kinds of lilies in pots. We took coffee out Monday morning to sit on the viewing stand. My sister-in-law, I think I told you, she made a big batch of bran muffins. Is it post bran muffins? You mix them up with raisins and uh, pineapple, shredded pineapple, and walnuts, and you bake them up, and it makes gallons of batter, enough for 72 muffins. So if you're going to a church charity, do it. You use buttermilk and that just makes them light and fluffy and moist, and they're so good. Well, anyway, we took out a couple muffins and our coffee and went to sit out there. The deer had come in sometime Sunday night and eaten every blossom in the garden and eaten the stems right down on the snapping dragons and on the what are the other plants that stuck up and had flowers? Lavender. I had lavender out there. They ate the lavender and ate the stems. We were so shocked and just devastated because it was so beautiful out there. And you go out there and, like Jaxie said earlier today, you go out there and you sit and there's no TV, there's no telephone, there's no refrigerator. It's just you and the world. And the breeze comes through the trees and you can see it as the leaves ruffle. You can see the breeze comes through the trees. You can hear that breeze. You can see the dragonflies and the butterflies. You can hear the birds that are out there in the trees. There are a pair of red-tailed hawk on the grounds, and you can see them fly by. And every spring they have a baby, and that baby will sit in the tree and cry and cry and cry. And the mom and the dad are scurrying to find stuff in his little pie hole and shut him up. But to go out there and sit and expect to soak up all of that calm, peaceful ambiance, we actually were left with our mouths hanging open. If you know, it was truly amazing and shocking to find that all of that beauty was just it was just eaten overnight and gone. Yeah, Dee lives out in a more rural area, and so I would imagine you get um, lots of wildlife in your yard. They stomp on your flowers. Elmo put up a 4x4 post in the yard, and he's got four hooks coming off of it, and we do have some hanging plants out there. And then up the front, one fourth of the front yard is all ferns. So every year I go out and pull up a bunch of ferns and stick them in a coconut basket in a wire basket frame, and then hang those periodically down the front of the viewing stand. Because I like ferns. I think they're pretty, and I think they cut some of the sun that's coming up in the east so that it doesn't get quite as hot, and it keeps it cooler underneath the viewing stand. Yeah, we have an outside cat. We have an outside cat, and so we feed him on the front porch. But if he doesn't eat everything in his bowl, then I don't know if it's a raccoon or an armadillo or a possum. We have possum here at the home too. So one day, a big fat there's a light that comes on. It's a motion sensor light on the front porch. And when I was coming from somewhere and probably coming down the hallway going to the common room, and the light came on, so I peeked outside the door, and there was this big fat raccoon out there. I'd never seen a raccoon that fat before. As deer stop work, Elmo bought some kind of pellets to put out, and he just sprinkled them all around the outside of the garden area. Most of the armadillos that I see here are on the road. Marshall-lee! Hello, Kim G. My love. Demi, we did that one year with, I think it was the third or fourth year that I lived up here at the home. There were so many squirrels in the yard, and they would come up and get in the bird feeders. You know, I love birds and trees. Well, when you've got trees and you've got squirrels. So I think we trapped 46 squirrels in the live trap. And then we took them down to Rum Island, which is, Rum Island is a Florida park and has a springs there. And so we took them down there to the springs. It's just a low area, a nice and lots and lots and lots of trees down there and water and just everything a squirrel could want. So we trapped, I think, 43 squirrels. The very next year, we trapped 56 squirrels in the live trap and took them down there. We had a couple armadillos that we took down to the river, the Santa Fe River, and released them down there by the river. But and we haven't had too many squirrels. I noticed again this year. It's been 10 years since then, about 10 years. But this is my 15th year here at the home, and I noticed this year again we have a lot of little baby squirrels. They are so fun to watch. They just run around up and down the tree, and when they first come out of the nest, they'll run down the tree and they'll get to the grass and they'll run right back up again. And then you'll see them a little bit later. They'll come down, put their front paws in the grass, just their front paws in the grass, and feel it. And then, boy, they're right back up the tree again. And the next time you see them, they'll hop from the tree into the grass and maybe run around in a circle and back up the tree again. They're just getting used to the new feeling, the new texture. It's like a baby, putting things in their mouth all the time. But I love to watch them. I just don't like having 50 of them in my yard. This home sits on maybe about 2.5 acres. So, and there's lots of trees, and we have hickory trees. We have maple. There's oak, of course, live oak, and there's some water oaks towards the back where the Santa Fe River, like 1,000 years ago, used to go through the very back of the property, and so there's a big. Right now, it's just a big ditch, but there's a lot of water oaks back there, and what are the ones that have the gumballs, and they make wreaths out of them. They're so pretty. Oh, Irish Spring. Well, I never thought of that. That's because you can't see them, Bonnie. Yeah, Regina, does that work? Does it keep the deer away? If so, we'll have to get some. Oh, and they don't like they had, that reminds me, they had citronella on sale at Lowe's. They're normally 20, they were $15 a bucket, a gallon bucket. And I thought, well, I could get 4 or 5 of those and put them along the front of the viewing stand. And then I thought, no, because the citronella, when it's only good if you rub the leaves, and that's what brings the scent out. And I'm not going to bend over and do that. So I didn't know that. Pebbles, my favorite pea. Listening and doing mail. Oh, I've got so many things to mail, Dee, that I've just been inundated, and I'm not going to get anything done this week that I'm home because I'm going to be packing up bunnies and buddies and getting them in their plastic bags with their tags and putting them in boxes. I've also, I have started some things for bags of hair and Irish Spring soap around the blueberry bushes. Ah! Well, I'm going to get some Irish Spring, Kim. I'm going to try that. They like us, but they don't really want to hang out with us. That's good to know, because I don't want them to think mine. I don't want them to think our garden is a smorgasbord. They can just come in and help themselves. Welcome, welcome, Heather. All right, I have some things to show you. I have put a few more rows on this blanket. Got my hook caught in here. I've got the gray on here. And I'm just about out of the first skein of gray. That's it. But I have 3 skeins of this, so I will have plenty for the blanket. And I have not made the giraffe for this one yet. That's number 1. Number 2 is this one. And we had to go to Hobby Lobby the other day because I had run out of the blue yarn and I was so fearful that I wouldn't be able to get it. This one is the blue and green one. And then I've put, this is Struck by Baby Bee yarn from Hobby Lobby. And it's, I think I showed you this. It's a thick 4. It's a nice weight. It's not like a twisted yarn. I mean, it's twisted, but it's not like individual strands twisted. I don't know. It's really, really nice to work with. It's a nice sturdy weight for a nice sturdy blanket. It's not a lot of drape to it, but it's just really, really nice. And I'm going to continue with, because I started with this, the face will go here. And then I do a row of double crochets, an open row and a row of double crochets. And then with the white stork struck, I did a single crochet, a row of double crochets with this yarn from Hobby Lobby, the variegated. And then I did, this is the luck of the draw, Nan's Next Knots, the luck of the draw with a full row, an open row, and a full row. That's her pattern. And then again with the white and to separate each of the colors. So that's where I am. Started here at the corner and I've got this corner done and I'm at this corner on the first row of double crochets for the blue. So that's blanket number 2, giraffe blanket number 2. And then I did find blanket number 3. I looked all day yesterday when my sister-in-law was here and I could not find it, but I did. I found it, of course, after she left. And this is blanket number 3. And this is the gray and caramel and cream variegated that I made the giraffe's face out of and then pulled a brown out of it. And I'm doing the same thing with the luck of the draw. And then I put in 3 rows of the variegated and then the row of the lighter caramel color, 3 rows of that, the luck of the draw row pattern. And that's the face on that one. And I've started the, I thought I had 2 feet here. I don't, but I've got the body for the giraffe. And I've got the one leg or one arm, whatever you want to call it, one leg or one arm of the giraffe. And I'm liking this combination of colors because it really has the spots, the giraffe spots. So I really like this one. And this is a Premier Eversoft multi in the color Sandstone. And it doesn't look like much here, but when it works up really nice. And I think it's going to make a nice giraffe. And those are the 3 that I've got going for Nisi. When my sister-in-law came yesterday, my sister-in-law, she's not really in law. Her husband, it was the brother of Elmo. So when I moved up here, um, Elmo's brother and she would come. They had a 40-foot camper, and they would come and hook up outside the home here and stay a couple months. And then they were work campers. And then when they'd find a job, they'd unhook their camper, get in. They had a big dually, diesel dually truck pickup, and they would just go to their next stop and stay there for a month or 2 months and work. And what a life. You get to see everything, the whole country. They've been all over. They had been all over. It was just wonderful. I love to listen to her stories. But anyway, she comes over every Tuesday, and we sit and knit and solve the problems of the world. And we drink tea and pee. And that's what we do. All right, let's see what else. Oh, I went to I have a ceramic goose that sits outside that I brought up from my house to this home, and I decorate her every month for different holidays. And so she's all draped in a star, a white scarf with blue and red stars on it. She has a bucket in front of her with red and silver and blue stars in it, and she's wearing a little cap with elastic around it. That it's a red hat, and it's got a blue band with a star on it. She's my Goosey Lucy, and I decorate her up. Yeah, Nisi, for the children's shelter. She just put out a video this morning in which she showed a blanket that our Bonnie girl made. And it is absolutely adorable. It is bright yellow and bright lime green. The stripes, big wide stripes all the way around it with a giraffe face in the middle. It is so beautiful. Bonnie said, I don't know whether to send it or not because it's wonky. It's like, it's beautiful. Those kids are going to see that giraffe. They're not going to see any wonk in it at all. They're going to love it. Somebody's really going to be a fortunate kid to get that blanket. It is so beautiful. I may have a picture of it here. Let me see if I do. If she sent me a picture and if I downloaded it, I will show you. Not looking like I have one. No, I'm back to January, and I know it's not. Nope, I don't have a picture of it, but you can go over to Nisi's channel. She just put out one this morning, and it's got it. Hi, Ladybug. Did you get your pattern? And there's I sent you a text, said there's no written pattern for the monkey, but if you get to that point, do the bunny body. It's the same as the monkey body. The arms and legs are exactly the same, except you go 30 like you do on the giraffe. You just make them longer. You make them 30 rounds instead of, what is it, 20? So your legs are a little bit longer. The legs are a little bit longer. They're 30 rounds on the legs and the feet for the monkey. And then when you get to the head is a little bit different. The back portion of the head is the same. So you can go to row 12, I think, with the bunny head. And when you get to that spot, send me a text and I'll talk you through the rest of it. And this is stitched on extra. So, and you have to put the eyes in before you sew the patches on. That's a lesson I learned because I had to glue mine in because I forgot. But but if you get stuck, you just send me an email and I will walk you through the head. But the rest of it is exactly the same. And there's no tail. This is a chimpanzee, has no tail. So the arms are the same as the bunny, only 30 rounds instead of 20. And I'll talk you through the head when you're ready. Okay, and looks like I don't have much time left. Yeah, the arms and legs are longer, 30 rounds. Oh, it should be on my channel, sweetheart. It should be. It's just missccottage@gmail.com. Thank you, Zoila. Okay, guys. Oh, here I wanted to show you this. When I went to the Dollar Tree and found the scarf and the hat and a little package of the stars. And so I bought those three things. Mr. Elmo had bought me a package of flags that we found. So I still have to add a flag to Goosey, but then she'll be ready from Memorial Day on the 30th of this month, or the 26th. I guess it's a Monday holiday now. It's always been the 30th. Anyway, from then until 4th of July, I used to have a bathing suit for Goosey to put on. And the woman who made it for me, I had both of her children in my classes at different years. And she made a bathing suit for Goosey. She took a styrofoam ball and cut it in half and then made the bathing suit around that and the straps and the tie in the back. And she made bottoms, a little two-piece bathing suit. It was so cute. Hey, Dory Doodles! I unwrapped my bone pillow package yesterday while my sister-in-law was here. She took the purple one. She said, I have family coming up Thursday. They meet every Thursday, her family. She has a sister and a brother and sister-in-law, and their mother used to go with it until she passed. And sometimes one of the kids will go, or maybe somebody can't make it, but every Thursday they go out to dinner at one place or another. And then on the fourth Thursday, they go to my sister-in-law's house and she fixes dinner for everybody. She'll get pizzas, or they go to this gas station and get brisket. They get barbecue brisket from a gas station. I don't know. I guess it's really, really good, though. Everybody likes it. Or else she'll make a big pasta salad, or she'll make a chicken pot pie or something. And then they all come up to her place on Thursday and they play cards, or they play Train, which is a domino game, or, they do a family night, which I think is marvelous. I don't live close enough to my family to do that once a month, let alone once a week. And I really admire her for that. But I don't know what I was going to tell you. But anyway, I went to Dollar Tree to get something for Goosey Lucy. And I found this yarn. It's called Teddy. And it says it's a 4-weight yarn, 62% acrylic and 38 polyester. There's only 109 yards here. So I got 2 of them. Yeah, the other one's around here somewhere. I got 2 of them. And I'm going to make, here it is. I'm going to make a bunny out of it because I think a white bunny will be really, really pretty. All right, and that's that. And what else do I have to tell you before it's time to go? Bag a Day just put out a new pattern, which I really, really like. I have to say this disclaimer here. I got this yarn out. It is a Pound of Love by Lion Brand. Let me get in here and turn it around so we can see the label. Okay, it is a Lion Brand Pound of Love yarn, and there's 1,020 yards in here, and it is a number 4 weight, 100% acrylic. And I went to Spring's channel, and she put out a new pattern. It's a mystery crochet along, and she started it out, and before we got 5 minutes into it, she had 3 different stitch patterns, and it was me. I couldn't follow it. I could not follow it. And so I watched Bag o' Day today, and she had some peach yarn, and she started out this blanket. And in all honesty, I have to tell you, I frogged Spring's blanket and started making this one. And this one is it's very, very, very pretty and very easy. It's just a 2-row repeat. You do a single crochet, you single crochet in the space, you do a chain 3 and a single crochet and a chain 3 and a single crochet and a chain 3 all the way across. And then when you come back on the other side, you do a half double, and you skip right over to this middle stitch right here, and you do 4 half doubles in that, and you encapsulate the chain 3. You just go right in with your yarn in that center, and you do it around that, and then it holds us down, but it gives us strength, and it gives you this ridge to do it on. I think it's really pretty. I think it's going to come out really nice. So I'm going to use this Pound of Love for a baby blanket with Bag o' Day's pattern. And my sister-in-law, when she was here yesterday, she was working on a blanket that I have made before and really like. You know, it's really funny. I sit across the room from her. There's a fireplace in the common room upstairs, and then there's from it is a couch, and then there's a Queen Anne's chair and a Queen Anne's chair on either end of the couch. So it's kind of like a square with the fireplace, and she'll sit in one, and I sit at the other end of the couch in the other Queen Anne's chair, and we crochet and knit and solve the problems of the world, and then we drink tea and pee. So she was working on a blanket, and when she went home, it was so pretty to look across that expanse, which is just really maybe, I don't know, 4 feet, 5 feet, and see her working on that blanket. It must be the light she shines on it, or she uses Karen yarn. I don't use Karen yarn. I don't care for the Karen Simply Soft. I can't work with it well. I choose not to use it, but she does. Excuse me. And Karen has such unique colors, very, very different from other yarn companies. And her blankets always come out so shiny and so pretty. Well, she's working on this one, and I said, how do you do that? And she told me. And when she went home, I got my yarn out and I made one. So yesterday, she's working on another one, and this is her pattern. You do a row of double crochets, which you can start out with a foundation single crochet row or a foundation double crochet row, whichever you prefer. You can start out with a chain and then do your double crochets in the chain. But then the next one is 2 doubles, you skip 1, you do 3 double crochets, 1 in each of the next one, and you do the 4th double crochet back into this first chain that you skipped. And then that's the stitch. And then you do a double, a double, a double, and you go back into this one chain that you skipped. And that's what makes this pattern. And it is so easy and it is so pretty from both sides. So I started this one. I'm not sure I'm going to like it because I'm using the bloom yarn. So we'll have to see how this comes out. It looks a little scattered right here, but I don't know. There's always a frog. All right, my time is up. I love each and every one of you. Yeah, Dory. Anyway, what I was going to tell you, Dory, is she took the purple one home and she said, I'm going to show it to my family on Thursday. And if they try it out and you like it, she said, I'll get a couple more from you. And I said, okay, because I got a couch full of them. Mac. The blanket Bonnie did was a 4-weight, I'm pretty sure. I do love the bloom in certain things, Dory. I'm making this little sack for Nisi at the children's shelter, and in a sweater or something like that, it comes out very pretty. If you make a blanket out of it, you have to almost do a knitted blanket with just a simple stitch to let the pattern come through. So I'm pretty selective as to what I use. You're making a mountain of bones. Dory, I also wanted to tell you, and I'll just share it right here. I have some fabric on this side of the cottage. All my yarn is over here, but I have fabric underneath the shelf here. I am not going to use it. If you would like it, I will send it to you. I think so too, Leanie. It's coming out really pretty. I wish I had made it bigger because this is almost preemie size, but you know. Oh, a bad top that you made out of the Karen weight for. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Bonnie. All right, guys, I'm going to go. I will still see you Friday, the 9th. I will do Mother's Day, the 11th. And that probably is the last live that I will do until I get back. I probably won't be on the 18th or that week, but Sam from Melbourne in Australia is going to do the Wednesdays and Fridays for me. So be sure and go over to her house. Oh, well, Dory, if you want it, I will send you the fabric, but I'm not sending anything until I get back, love. And if I thought I could get by with it, if I were going to North Carolina, I would just pop it in the back of the car and drop it off on my way because I need a hug from you anyway. So, it would be, wouldn't it? All right, guys, I'm going to go. I love you all very much. I will ask God to hold you in the palm of his hand and keep you safe and comfort you until we meet again on Friday. I love you.